Hello everybody, today we decided to make another video about our equipment. So today we're making grain wash with our boiler. This is my 50-liter boiler and the recipe is kind of interesting. I took it from Stillet. The Jesse showed really interesting video about how to make his next step whiskey, so link is going to be in the description as well. Feel free to watch it. There's great video about it. For the beginners and people who have like T500, it's really a nice recipe to have like homemade whiskey. The recipe is kind of interesting to me because I never used oats in wash. So today we have my 50-liter boiler. There's some additional stuff in it. We have level of the liquid in the boiler. Then lower the center we have universal thermometer port for installing thermometer sensor or PID sensor. So on the back side of the boiler we have 2-inch connection and end cap. This is for heating element, or you can install anything you want, like a butterfly valve, which is kind of big one for draining out this huge amount of liquid. Not a huge amount actually, but for home distillers it's more than enough, I think. Anyway, also I have my 40-liter boiler, which is like more powerful, I think I can say like this. There's a lot of connections and additional 1.5-inch 3-clamp where I can install the pump and use low density heating element during mashing, for example, with a PID controller where you can adjust the needed temperature at the mashing. So I could use that equipment and will be much easier, but we are showing you today the easy way how to mash with minimum equipment we have. So if there's going to be interest in making a video about mashing with the pump, with a PID, with heating element which is low density, feel free leave it comment in the comment section and we'll be glad to make another video. So let's start. For the filtration I take my false bottom, which is Pro model. There's a lot of cuts, as you can see there's some scratches and it's a little bit dirty, but it works absolutely fine. It's not really important right now. Let's install it to the latch of the boiler. Then we need to install digital thermometer port over here, and that's it. We just need to pour enough water for mashing. So before we heat up our water, I decided to filter this water because it has some rusty and it's not so good in the office. So that's why I took the lid for the brewery and installed 2 hoses. So one hose will suck the water in the pump and through the carbon, and then the other hose will just send the water back to the boiler. So the water will circle around and it's getting clear and clear. We will do it, it's about for 30 or 40 minutes. Let's start. So we've done filtration, about 40 minutes gone, so it's more than enough for us. Let's turn our induction cooker. Just give me a sec to... If you want to have more info about this unit, please watch a video on our YouTube channel. The link is going to be probably there. So right now water is about 16 degrees Celsius and we need to heat it up to 65 degrees Celsius. Yeah, Fahrenheit will be down here. Yeah, just turning the power on. We have 3.5 kilowatt induction cooker, so it's really powerful. And it's going to be really fast. So I will wear my mask during adding of the mold. I do have an allergy for the dust of the mold, so that's why in every video, in every Russian video, I wear this stuff. Otherwise, I will just sniff a lot. So the temperature fall down up to 61 degrees Celsius, and what can we do in this situation? Firstly, you can just add boiling water to your mash and raise temperature up to 65 degrees Celsius. Secondly, you can just turn your heating source, heating element or gas or induction cooker, and by heating up liquid which is under the ledge, under the false bottom, we can open the ball valve and pour into the jar, and then pour just up to this area into the boiler. So by this way you can just heat the temperature of the mash and you won't be like really overheated. So we turn in on power and we will be fine with a power of 2000 watts. 1500 also is enough. Also, I will add this unit. It's like a drain sink. It has a thread for the ball valve. Yeah, and by silicone gasket, connection is sealed and you're fine to go. For example, like this. Yeah, you can add something to not to spit on the floor, and then just by adding this liquid on the top we are fine with changing temperature underneath and on the top. In case if you have a pump, we don't have to do it. Pump will do every work for you, and if you have a PID controller with heating element, it will be adjusted as you want it. So heating element will be turning off in case if temperature goes down, and the pump will work all the time, and it is much better because you don't have to do anything. So we got to temperature 65.5, 65.8 Celsius degrees. It's absolutely fine temperature, and we are ready to just wait for an hour and a half until the process will go through. In case if temperature fall down to 61 degrees Celsius, I can just repeat what I've done a minute ago, what you already saw. Yes, you can insulate this brewery, this boiler, how you want to call it, and maybe you don't need to add boiling water or heating up. It's up to you. But I don't really feel to be uncomfortable to just turn it on the cooker and repeat this for a minute and a half. It's absolutely fine. So let's wait. So it has been almost 2 hours and temperature didn't even fall down to 64 degrees, so it was staying at 65 all the time. That's very good. We can filter it by pouring from the ball valve and adding on the top, But in this case we do not make a beer, so we don't really bother about pieces of mold in the bucket. Actually, also there's not going to be so much mold because we're using false bottom. So let's open the ball valve. Hello. So, are you shooting? Yeah. So we got more than 20 liters. So it's about 22 liters of wash, and we need to cool it down to temperature about 20 degrees Celsius. We can just wait when temperature will fall down, or you can use like buckets with pockets, bags with ice and cool down the temperature if you don't have any special equipment for cooling down the temperature. But I have a chiller which is 12 meters, so we'll put it in this bucket and we chill it very, very fast. So as you can see, you don't have to use a beer brewing bag. It's absolutely fine to use false bottom. You can remove all the mold from the boiler just by usual kitchen equipment, which is really, really easy. Also, boiler is very easy to wash because it's stainless steel, and with usual washing materials like soap and something else, it's very easy. So let's check the temperature of our wort. We have it's about 20 degrees when I just put it, and when we take it out, you see that there's almost like 12 degrees. So I forgot just to turn off the cooling water. Let's take out our chiller. Right now I'm shooting by myself because Dan has already gone, so right now we're just dividing our liquid to 2 buckets. So at each one we add 5 kilograms of glucose. It's not an inverted sugar as in the original recipe, but it works fine for me. I agree with Jesse about the different taste and flavor of the final product if you take inverted sugar, but glucose works for me fine as well. Let's give it a good stir and fill up our buckets up to 25 liters each. We're heating to the temperature about 20-25 degrees Celsius. It's gonna be enough for me. Usually I take this wine yeast SP1, but in this case I would like to try SR. This is for red wine and can handle up to 15 ABV, and I think it's kind of good for this type of mash. Also I add salt. This is for nutrition, and this is a special salt which comes with every turbo yeast inside. If you put a lot of it, you can have like a rude alcohol, which is gonna be looking like vodka. This is fine for usual neutral spirit, but we need to save flavor, so that's why I'm using just a little bit, just to ensure that yeast can work with this percentage of sugar. So I add it, I stir it, and that works fine for me. Also, I add airlock. I think it's better to use it because it's not turbo yeast, so I would like to make a good environment for the mash. So that's it for today. I hope you liked this video and subscribed on our YouTube channel. If you have any questions to ask about this equipment or the process, please leave it in the comment section. We will be glad to answer. Also, if you're interested in this equipment with a controller, like a low density heating element and pump, if you want to see how it works, please also leave it in the comment section and we will find time and make a video about it. Thank you for watching. Happy distilling.